Smed had been a monk before, and he came out of the monkhood to be a driver to support his family, and he's since gone back to the monkhood. And because he was a former monk and I'd lived in the temple, we had a real bond, we had a real connection. And also because I don't smoke drugs, I'm not in Asia to party, I'm not here for prostitution, and he hated taking foreigners to those activities, and I hated the fact that all the drivers were trying to sell me those activities. So Smed and I hit it off really well, and he found Patty's gym for me. Now, Patty Carson is a professional kickboxing trainer from South Africa. He's actually a professional boxing / kickboxing trainer, and he's also a black belt instructor of Kyokushin, which is a type of hardcore karate. He has trained 15 title holders in his life, including his daughter Michelle, who became second in the world at one point and actually fought for the world title. He sold all of his schools in South Africa. He moved to Thailand, and he was accepted there as a major professional trainer for years, and then decided that he didn't like Thailand, and he found a new home for himself in Cambodia, and he opened Patty's Gym, which is the only real weightlifting gym in Phnom Penh, and now it's the only professional bodybuilding gym in Southeast Asia, because he has a partner now. It's a professional bodybuilder named Bill, and he brought all of his instructors over from the Philippines and like 3 containers of weightlifting equipment, and so this is all in Patty's Gym right now, and that's out by the Japanese Friendship Bridge in Phnom Penh. But Patty's was and is the only place where foreigners can practice kickboxing. It's really hard to train as a foreigner in Cambodia because the kickboxing schools, the camps, are owned or affiliated with the TV networks where they fight, and the purpose of the camp is to produce kids that are going to fight on TV. So as a foreigner, you're not going to be fighting on TV, so they really can't take time out to train you. Plus, nobody speaks English, and they don't have equipment. I mean, it's just amazing what they do. I've never seen one of these camps that had more than 2 bags in it. They don't have gloves, they don't have this, they don't have that. And Patty, of course, has everything. And later, when I was working for a big American TV network doing a scout situation in Cambodia, scouting out for a movie they were going to film, I had to go visit every boxing ring in Cambodia, and it turns out there were only 6, and Patty owns one of them, and it's in Patty's club. So that just became the place for me to train, and I was the first I was the first boxer to walk in off the street, and he was just starting out, so he had tons of time for me, and we trained together every day, and it was a really great experience. I trained with Patty every day, and in the afternoons I would still go see the movie guys and train with them, and that was going really well. But as I said, I didn't have any money, and after about 6 weeks, I just couldn't hang on anymore financially, so I started looking for a job. Now, I was really fortunate that many years ago, when I was studying in Germany, I decided to go to England and get a postgraduate diploma in TESOL at Trinity College. And at the time, I thought that I was going to be a professional translator, and I was also studying for an MBA, and I thought I'd be working in finance. I thought, I'm probably never going to be teaching again, but let me get this diploma. And man, that diploma has just opened doors for me all over Asia. That thing has saved my life again and again. So kids, if you're out there, please get your teaching diploma on top of your bachelor's degree, and the world is your oyster. You can go anywhere in the world and work. So I'm in Phnom Penh, and because I have this degree, which is from a British university, I can always work for British Commonwealth schools. So if it's Britain, if it's Australia, New Zealand, Canada, they'll usually hire me. Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong. And so I went to the Australian school in Phnom Penh, and they hired me, and the salary was, double what any other English teacher makes in Phnom Penh, and my hourly salary was equivalent to about 3 weeks' salary for the average Khmer. So I mean, it was a really good situation. So I was earning good money, very professional working environment that I enjoyed, training with Patty, and Patty is just the most amazing boxing trainer in the world. Patty, I had been fighting my whole life. I mean, I was in my 30s when I went there, and I've been fighting since I was 11. Patty took my boxing to new levels. When people ask me, when did I peak physically, I'll say, well, when I was 19, I was trying to be a professional bicycle racer and triathlete, and I had a phenomenal peak in cardio. At 24, I had an incredible peak at boxing. And then at 34, I peaked again in boxing, and it was because of Patty. And at 34, I could have beat up, my 24-year-old self or my 19-year-old self. Patty just worked me every day, just punching the bags, punching the mitts, working, and then combined with the weights, and then combined with the Khmer Kung Fu training, the movie guys had promised me a couple more movies, so they hooked me up with a trainer, and he would come to Patty's gym every day and train me in movie kung fu, in addition to me doing regular boxing and stuff. And this went on for about almost, gosh, more than a year. And I finally I'd given up on Bokator. I said, well, I guess this thing doesn't exist. I'm never going to see this Khmer wrestling. Bokator doesn't exist. I'm leaving. And I was making plans to leave. I wanted to go to Malaysia. I wanted to go to Malaysian Borneo in a place called Sarawak and do linguistics research and tribal research and learn martial arts. And I was literally, I had my foot out the door. And I have a friend that works for a big, expensive private tour company, and he brings people on private tours and private jets, and they fly around the world. And whenever they would come to Cambodia, they would pay me like $200, $250 to go eat dinner with these guys and just be interesting and just answer all their questions about Asia or about Cambodia. So that friend was in town. His name's Bill. Bill calls me, oh, why don't you come down for dinner? I come down for dinner. I had a nice dinner with all these people. On the way in the door, he whispered in my ear, be careful, don't say anything bad about the president. They all know him personally. You know, I mean, these are the kind of people. They're very wealthy. After that dinner, he introduced me to the head of the local affiliate office of that company. And his name is Long Leng, and that company is called Phnom Penh Tours. And it was the first tour company that was founded. It was actually founded by the Vietnamese government when Cambodia was a Vietnamese colony in 1980. And then it was privatized after the Vietnamese pulled out in 87 or 88. And Long Leng was the first manager, and he still is. And so he's really, as far as tourism in Cambodia, I mean, he's probably the highest manager that there is in the whole country. And he knew about me from Bill, and he'd looked me up on the internet, and he'd seen some of my books and things, and he thought it would be a good idea to sponsor me on an adventure tour in Cambodia. And basically what he wanted me to do was map out every possible adventure that existed in Cambodia, go out and do it, and write articles about it that would go on his website, and then publish a book. And this would sort of help promote adventure tourism in Cambodia, because Angkor Wat's the big tourist attraction, but you know, you need more than one thing for people to look at, and you need things for people to do. So this was the most incredible adventure of my life. This started at Angkor Wat, and then from Angkor Wat we went to all these temples that were outside in the jungle and here and there, and that people had never heard of, and incredible stories. And you know, Cambodia used to be Hindu at one time, a very long time ago, and they built a model of the Ganges River, and there's a model of the Ganges River in Cambodia, and it's got all these Hindu gods, and you know, Randi and Shiva and Vishnu, and just incredible, just something that you know, people don't know about it, at a place called Kabal Shpion. And I got to see all these wonderful things, and then to Sihanoukville, and we climbed Bokator Mountain, which was really an incredible experience. Bokator Mountain was this big French casino and dance hall and party place back during the colonial days. And you know, you go there and you're walking in these old buildings, and you're thinking, you can just picture, you know, what an elegant place it must have been, with parties on the lawn and dignitaries and royalty, and you know, when the king was still the real power in the country, and it just must have been a wonderful experience. If I could teleport back in time, that would be the time I'd want to go to. And that was an incredible experience. And